everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel and I make videos about hand sewing, English paper piecing and hand quilting. So if that is something that you're interested in, do check out the recent videos on my channel and hit the subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with my new videos. Now today I'm coming to you with a video that I've been really excited to make, and I've been really keen to get my teeth into this project. I don't know if you remember, but I think it was maybe the back end of November that I purchased a vintage quilt from eBay for £30. It was incomplete, but there was some hexagon flowers that are thread basted and all the papers are still intact. They also came with the quilt along with just some singular hexagons as well. I will leave a link to that video down in the description bar if you haven't already seen that video or you want a reminder of how the quilt looks. I can't believe though in that video I couldn't see what the pattern was. It was only when I took a photo and then looked at my phone from a distance that I could actually see the pattern. I was too close to it. I had it laid out on my bed. So now when I want to look at the pattern, I've been putting it on my floor. There's only one space in the house that is big enough for it to go on the floor. I've been putting it on the floor so I can see the pattern. So yeah, that video will be down in the description box if you would like to check that out as well. But today I'm going to start the sewing process. So there's a couple of hexagons that I think are the start of the next row. I'm going to take those off. There's one on either end of the quilt. I'm going to take those off because if I left them there, I would then have to find the fabric to do a whole extra row on either side. So I'm going to take those off and repurpose them elsewhere in the quilt. The quilt at the moment is a big hexagon. She's just been going round in circular motion, starting with a central flower. But I think that I would prefer to have it as a rectangle or a square quilt rather than it being a hexagon. So what I'm going to do is, there's some of the pattern that is just incomplete, you know, that you can see evidently this piece needs to go there. So I'm digging into these piles of flowers that came with the quilt, and then I'm going to complete the pattern to what I knew she wanted to do based on the symmetry of the design. So I'll get that far in the quilt and then I'm going to assess what fabric have I got left. Is it going to take too much fabric, or will it look weird if I make it into a rectangle? And then I'll assess what I want to do. If I do end up adding any of my own fabric to like square off the quilt, I'll just use an off-white or a cream colour so that I don't detract from her original work. And all of the papers that are in this quilt are just amazing. There's some that are made with like adverts. Let's see if I can find one. You can just see there, but you can just see there the colourful pamphlet. Oh, here's one. This is one of the pink ones that I know is obviously missing from the quilt, so I'm going to add that. And although it's really cumbersome to keep the papers in a quilt of this size, I'm just going to leave them in right till the end because I don't know why. I don't have a reason. I feel like it reduces the strain on the quilt when all of the papers are still in. Don't get me wrong, there's a few that have come out, but for the most part the papers are still in, and I think I'll try and keep it that way. So as much as it pains me, I've decided the first step that I need to take is actually removing this hexy flower, because all of the rest on the quilt are at this stage, the one before. So if I left this on, I'd have to find the hexagons to do a whole nother row on both this end and the opposite end of the quilt. So by far the easiest thing to do is take this off and reuse it elsewhere within the quilt. It would just save me having to expand the quilt just for this one flower, but it won't go to waste or anything like that. But it does really pain me to know that I'm going to have to undo the stitches. From what I can see, they're very secure, these stitches, so that's really good. I'll just try and nick just one of the stitches. There we go. That's all come out. I don't like to use a seam ripper on these things because often I find with a seam ripper you can travel a bit faster than what you want to. So these are nice and sharp on the end. You can literally just snip away. There we go. That's all completely come away now, so I'm just gonna try and get rid of some of these threads. I'm not going to pull too much at the corner just in case that was a continuous line of stitching, but it doesn't feel like it is. And then here we've got some threads. And then there's one of these on the exact opposite side of the quilt, so I'll just go ahead and remove that. I feel so guilty taking out the stitches when I'm trying to restore the quilt, but this will just get used and it will save me a whole lot of hexagons because I want to try and complete this quilt with the hexagons that I've got. So just to cast your mind back, I've got a pile here. Now I've got that one added to it, and then I've got some basted hexagons and fabric. Anything that I need in addition, I'll do in a white or an off-white colour, just so I can distinguish this was my work that I've added to it and this is her work. So one of the sections that I'm keen to sew is some missing pink hexagons because it's quite obvious where those pieces go. There's one set of pink flowers that is in three. There's three repeated, and the other three around the whole quilt, I've only got two there, so I definitely think that they intended to be a three. So this is one of the ones that I'm now going to add. So it's in a section of two, and then I think there should be some grey hexagons next to it. So let me show you that. Once I had sewn the pink hexie flower on, I noticed that the piece next to it, this blue piece, was loose. It needed sewing down, but it was also missing that middle hexagon. And based on the one a couple of hexagons down, it needed a pink gingham hexagon to fill that hole. And there wasn't one already basted, but there was a couple of pieces of the hexagon fabric. So I used that along with a couple of papers that had fallen out during just the manhandling of the quilt. So I've got these two, so I'm going to reuse them. And I've never actually successfully thread basted before, so I did have a little bit of anticipation when it came to this, but I didn't want to do my usual glue basting just because I thought that wouldn't be in keeping with the rest of the project. But when I've thread basted before, it's always been smaller shapes, because if you know, I do love smaller shapes. However, yeah, this actually went quite successfully, so I was really happy with that, and the piece was nice and accurate and went in really well. I did, after I started basting, decide to add a pin into the middle. I think I've seen people do that on videos before just to make sure that the hexagon doesn't shift, and I just used a neutral thread as she has done in the quilt and gone through all of the layers again as she has done previously. I know you can do it just from the back, which makes it easier for removing, but I've got to do all the papers anyway, so it doesn't make too much of a difference. So I think I might give this a go when I do some larger shapes, because it seemed a little bit more transportable than doing the glue basting. So whenever I'm coming to any areas of the quilt that are a little bit more loose like this, I can't see that this is a knot that's come undone. It looks like it's loose from this stitch here. So whenever I'm getting to anything like that, I'm just travelling down there and just adding a little bit of security. And then just travel down here, put a little locking stitch at the start and where I end, but I won't cut the thread, I'll just travel back up. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. So there's lots of threads hanging everywhere with it being thread basted, and you know, threads have probably come loose. I'm not going to cut everything away. All of this stuff will just get caught in the quilt backing, so I'm not going to be too worried. I'm not worrying about how neat the back is. I just want to make sure everything will be nice and secure. So let me park my needle in there. There we go. And I've just been using some clips just to hold it in place, just to reduce the death grip on my hand. So here we go then. Let's have a look. That's all sewn on, and then this seam is a little bit more secure. Now all I need to do is add grey in these two spaces, and then the rest are sort of all at this level. Oh, that'll need to join in there, and then that one. Oh no, that one won't join to there. But yeah, I'll add those two, and then I think I'll complete what I can and then assess where I need to go from there. But that might be in a week or two's time, by the time I've done all the sewing and repairing any weak bits I can see. So there we go then. I've had such a good day doing some sewing on this, and like I said, I'm going to leave it out on the table, pick up pieces where I can, but most importantly, probably in a couple of days' time, I'm going to lay everything out and assess how much fabric of the original fabric do I have left, how much will I need to add to complete it into something. And I don't know, do I want it to be square, do I want to keep it as a hexagon, because that would be really good, wouldn't it, a giant hexagon? But how practical is it? What I'll have to do is, once it's completed to the best I can with the fabric in the hexagon shape, I'll have to lie underneath it, and is it big enough to actually be used as a blanket on the bed? Because if it is, then I could just keep it as a hexagon. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? I don't know. I'm in two minds. Let me know what you guys think. I think if it is big enough to use, sort of, you know, it covers me in the bed, sort of height-wise, I think it would be nice to keep it as a hexagon. But I'll have a look. I'll have a look, see what I can do, and have a think about it, most importantly. Let me know. So some of these, some of the papers in the quilt actually date back to the 90s, but some of you guys says on the last video that you think the fabric is very much 80s style. So I'm not familiar with the patchwork at those times. Would it have been common to have a quilt that's the shape of a hexagon, or would she have squared it off? Do let me know. But thank you guys so much for watching, and until the next time I see you, take care and bye bye.